Hello everybody, it's Mark Sage from the Area Augmented Reality Enterprise Alliance, and I'm here with our latest Fireside chat. I'm here with Mark Toman from BT, and we're looking at that connection between 5G technology and AR. So Mark, thank you very much. Let me ask you the first question. How does 5G technology enhance enterprise augmented reality applications?
Hi, Mark. Thanks for having me today. So my name is Mark Toman. I'm director looking after edge-based services, looking at network edge, AR, VR, and how we build the next generation of services to support the UK economy. How does 5G enhance augmented reality applications? I think for me, we've already built an on-prem solution. Yeah, I think that's quite mature now in the market. But for me, what 5G brings is the ability to be mobile. Yeah. So right now we build everything in a fixed way. Yeah. And that's a lot of CapEx. It's a business case, and you've got to deliver that. What 5G does is the ability to be mobile. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can replicate a service or a solution anywhere. Yeah. So you can build it once and it's mobile and you can take it across the UK. So that's one thing 5G does, but the other one is cost of entry. Yeah. So with 5G, it's already built. Yeah. So we've built AWS into the network. We've got the hyperscalers there. You can build it once and you can fire it up. So there's no big fixed wire applications. You can, what would take months, we can now do in a matter of weeks. Yeah. And we can actually fire up those applications very quickly. And that comes to my other point, which is about speed to market. As you know now, trying to get funding and business cases signed off is quite difficult, especially in today's environment. And you don't really have that opportunity to fail quickly. But what 5G and actually building it into the network does is it's just a software. So you spin it up. Yeah, there's a few SIM cards and you can actually post out the equipment. So you can actually test business cases to see how they work with a very low cost of entry. And in fact, actually working with BT, we can look at different models as well. So whether you want to have CapEx heavy or OpEx, you know, we want to work with industry to see what is the best for your business and how you take things forward. So for me, really important. And then that comes to the other point, which is that common architecture. Really, you've got a mismatch of different solutions being built across the UK, servicing different industries. However, fundamentally, they're the same architecture, same foundations. Imagine if you only had to build that once and being able to replicate that wherever you go and tweaking it, augmenting it to whatever business case you need. So for me, it really is an add-on and enhancement to existing applications and gives you the ability to diversify.
Which is fantastic, because we know one of the issues in the augmented reality space is that companies try and do proof of concepts. They quite often take too long. They're cash heavy and stuff like that. 5G really allows them, like you said, to spin up something quickly, investigate, do the business case, and either deploy widely or try something else. So that's amazing. Let's go a little bit more specific on exactly what BT is doing to enable the enterprise AR ecosystem, and actually help enterprises deploy in AR. That's something that's really important from an area perspective. So can you talk about some of the initiatives and work you're doing in that space?
Yeah, I mean, BT's really focused on building the next generation of networks. And I think it's starting off with the foundation. So BT currently is investing £5 billion a year building out their fiber and 5G networks. Yeah. And we are re-architecting our core infrastructure. So we've just deployed what we call the new mobile cloud core, which is cloud native core, which means we can diversify and decentralize all our core services, which means we can bring them closer to you. What that's allowed us to do is we can now build hyperscaler cloud or any other cloud directly into the BT network. And this is what we've done with our wavelength proposition in partnership with AWS. It is actually built directly on top of the mobile cloud core. And if you go to Manchester, where we've built the first Northwest zone, we have built a regional cloud to exactly the same standards into the BT network, and that is now up and running and allows us the ability to open APIs. We can give you network function and we can bring that cloud capability directly to where we need it now, so you get those low latency applications. The other thing that gives you is the ability to have that security and work end to end. And one of the things I think BT are bringing is collaborations and partnerships. Yeah.
Mm,
So we
mm,
realized straight off the bat that not one company can do all this. But if
mm,
you create a collaboration and a partnership ecosystem that supports industry, and I spoke about it before in our event in Newcastle,
mm.
it's about working backwards, understanding the customer problem, really listening. What works for you? And that's not just the solution, that's also pricing commercials. Yeah, what is the envelope that we need to hit? And then working backwards, both on the BT network, but also with our partners to build that envelope and that overarching solution. And currently you can't do that because you've got to go to each individual provider. They give you a price and it usually doesn't cost them. So that's something for me. And I think the big
Mm.
important one there, and something that telcos unfortunately in the past have been not as good at, is listening.
Mm,
And that's something I'm
mm.
really passionate about, is making sure that we're listening to market.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think a couple of things just to recap. You mentioned the security part as well, which I know 5G helps a lot on, and often a big challenge for deploying AR solutions. But that kind of speed, that ability to bring the ecosystem together as well is crucial, because even within AR, there's lots of different components of that. There's hardware, there's software, there's infrastructure. Yeah, if you can kind of manage that, it makes the deployment of it so much easier.
100%, 100%.
Perfect. So the last question, it's always my favorite one. I know we've spoken before about that. It's about kind of business efficiency. It's about show me the money. So how does the integration of 5G and enterprise AR impact business efficiency?
I think this is probably the question that everybody's asking is, what are the benefits of going down this route, these applications? And I think your industry in particular is asking that question. And show me the money, as you just said.
Mm,
And I'll give you an example. So we've deployed a private 5G network into the Port of Time, and we've deployed computer vision and augmentation, as well as automation on top of that. And I'll give you an example of what we've done. It's just small things, listening to customers and the problems. So shipping containers, when they came off the shipping container, the driver of the crane actually had to get out of the crane, walk underneath the big container, look at the serial number, write that down, and
yeah.
then go back and continue. Yeah. What we've done is we've automated the whole thing. So we're using cameras as service. We're actually using computer vision. When that container comes off the ship now, it is viewed at all angles. The serial number is registered, but also we've added another benefit. We check it for damage as
Oh,
well.
wow. Awesome.
And that actually fills in all the insurance, ticks all the insurance boxes. So we've sped up that process massively. But guess what? There's a health and safety aspect to that
Yeah.
as well. So we've
Yes.
stopped that person having to stand underneath that 40-ton container and measuring it. So there's business efficiency, but I want to really stress what we can do with this is actually health and safety. And I think that's one of the
Mm,
biggest drivers that we're seeing, especially in the early adoption, is around that safety and security.
yeah.
The other thing that it will allow us to do, and we're seeing this now with manufacturing and construction, is one of the biggest challenges and one of the biggest cost drivers is right first time.
Mhm.
Is it built correctly? Do we have to go back for repeat visits, truck rolls? These are the things that drive additional costs to budgets and deployments. And if you can build it right and actually have the ability to see and for the builders to visualize what it looks like, you're going to get a much better success rate on your right first time. And that is a massive advantage to anyone. And then a final piece from me really is around, you're collecting so much data.
It's
Where do you store it? How do you analyze it? And how do you put that data analytics on top of that? An on-prem solution is actually quite difficult to do because you want a centralized data source. So actually working with the hyperscalers, working with the network providers, you can collect that vast amount of data, which is valuable, and then you can utilize it to drive either business efficiencies, monetize it, whatever you need. But we can actually then bring it into a centralized model. So for me, that data collection is one of the biggest opportunities in actually knowing what to do with that data.
Mark, that's amazing. There's been some fantastic insights in there. Thank you very much. Look forward to continue working with you and driving that message and business efficiencies around 5G and AR. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark. Really appreciate it.